We're in well, it's a rubber plantation in Thailand. Rubber plantations exist for that little drop, comes down into that little bowl, and there are thousands of them in this part of the country. Ralph Blewitt's here. G'day, Ralph.
Morning, Michael.
You'd recall the day at the Trade Union Royal Commission when you were handed a memorandum from Julia Gillard. It was dated the 21st of May 1992, and what purported to be a letter from Ray Neal, right?
That's correct.
Had you told the Royal Commission that you'd never seen them before. You've never altered or never wavered in saying that, correct?
The fact is, I had never seen it before.
The memo from Gillard, dated 21 May, instructs you to write a letter to Ray Neal in which you'll undertake to change the rules of the association. Did you ever receive, or now that you're a few years down the track, did it ever happen? Did Gillard ever give you that memo? Or?
I never saw the letter or the memo from her.
Yeah.
Until it was presented to me at the Royal Commission.
Did she tell you to change the rules? Did she?
No.
Is there a scintilla of truth about what's in that memo?
The first time I saw it was at the Royal Commission into Trade Union Governance Corruption.
It's made up, is that right?
Yeah, it's
it never
forgery.
happened. Is it
never
true?
Happened.
It's true to say it never happened.
Yeah.
So, when Gillard gave evidence to the Royal Commission that, quote, "the advice I gave to Mr. Blewitt is the advice you see in that memo," what's your comment about the truth or otherwise of that?
She's lying.
You've sworn a an affidavit before an officer of the court. You've sworn it to that effect, that she's lying, that you never received that instruction from her.
That's correct.
On the front page of that affidavit, the purpose of the affidavit is set out, and that is for a criminal proceeding against Gillard for giving false or misleading evidence to the Trade Union Royal Commission. Correct? You're aware of that?
That's right, I did that affidavit.
Where'd you sign that? Or swear it, sorry, where did you swear it?
Swore it in Malaysia, I think, from memory.
I can give you a hint. I know that you've sworn other material in Malaysia.
This one was done in Perth.
Yep.
At a lawyer's office.
That's good to get that squared away. You're prepared to go to whatever court this matter proceeds in to give evidence against Miss Gillard?
Most certainly.
She said in her one of her famed lengthy press conferences it'll boil down to your word against hers. However, in this case, all of the documentary evidence is on your side. If I can just run through it. Did you write out a cheque for $22 to the Office of State Corporate Affairs back in '92?
Yes.
What was that cheque for?
That was for a ministerial review of the application for Workplace Reform Association to be incorporated. And
you resubmitted paperwork?
Yes.
You went to Melbourne, after Gillard flew over to Perth, you went to Melbourne with Wilson, where you had conference with Gillard and determined that the path forward was to apply to the Minister to get the Minister to review the Commissioner's decision not to incorporate, correct?
That's right.
And without saying what it is, you have included in your affidavit independent events that confirm your presence in Melbourne at that time. Is that true?
That's right.
Ralph, we're in a rubber plantation right now. Look behind you. Have a look down the tree rows. Trigger any memories?
Yeah, 1967-68. I was a member of the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment in South Vietnam.
This is exactly the same. We what?
lived in rubber plantations there in our tents, and the purpose of living in a rubber plantation was if we were mortared it would break up or they'd explode in the trees above us and that sort of thing. But yeah, gave us shade, gave us cover.
As a digger, are you given an order? What did you do?
You followed it.
Can I
elaborate on that?
Yeah.
I was used to taking orders and following instructions, and I just hark back to the forged memo that was presented at the Royal Commission by Gillard.
Yep.
And I'll say this in all honesty. Had I been given that letter and the memo from Gillard at the time, as I had done in all other cases, I would have followed the instructions of Bruce Wilson and Julia Gillard. It never happened. The rule review was never, the rule change was never done, and it was never done because I never knew about it until 2014 at the Royal Commission.
Ray Neal, the Corporate Affairs, Acting Corporate Affairs Commissioner, agrees with you that the letter from him didn't happen, that it's a forgery. Ralph Maneef, the officer in charge of incorporating the association, of the whole file, agrees with you that it never happened. I agree with you. The cheque confirms that the fee for the review by the Minister was paid. There is a slip from the bank that confirms your attendance at the bank to transfer money into the association's account to cover that cheque. All of that documentary evidence points to the AW Workplace Reform Association being incorporated on the direction of the Minister and not, as Gillard told the Trade Union Royal Commission under oath, as a result of that memo that she purports to have sent to you. You got any final comment about her evidence to the Turk?
She's perjured herself before the Royal Commission. Those documents are forgeries, and as I said before, had I received them, I would have acted on them as I did at the behest of Wilson and Gillard, follow all instructions given by them whilst I was employed as an official with the AWU.
Now, your period with the AWU is not one I'd imagine that you're terribly proud of, the association with Wilson and Gillard. But I know you, and I know you are proud of your service in South Vietnam, and I know the respect that the Brotherhood holds for you. Thank you for your service. And Ralph, you know, as we look out, you look behind you, mate. A lot of Australian men died in country exactly like this, lest we forget.